Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 25 of the MTL Sports Podcast. Now, for today's episode, you got us, you got the gang. We're going to be talking about the AFC South. Just like Lawrence said last episode, we are going north, south, east, then west. All right, so for today, we got AFC South. Then we're going to hit rapid fire. We have a little bit more of the players rankings of themselves. We got 90 through 60 or 61, I believe, for later in the show. And of course, we're going to end the show with some trivia. We got some good, hot, spicy trivia for you guys, so stay tuned and find it. To this. Now, we got the AFC South for today. We're going to break it down just like last episode. We got the division winners. We got the individual team records. We got possible playoff teams we will break down. And then we will end with, skill position rankings within the division. So first up, we have the division winner. Lawrence, kick it off to you. Who do you think is going to win this division?
I think it's pretty clear, in my opinion, that I've probably made over the course of these couple episodes, we've done together. I'm really high on the Jags. Pretty sure most people are probably high on the Jags.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit high on the Jags just because, I don't think they got a lot of love, and they're not getting a lot of love because the division is not very good. And to be fair, they're completely right. The division is not very good. But I got Jacksonville winning this division. I got Tennessee coming in second. And honestly, I don't know who comes in third and fourth because I both had the same record. So it literally would have to just come down to minute details of who would come in second or fourth based on conference play or division play, etc. But like I said, I'll break it down right now. So record-wise, actually I'll give you the over-under on each team's projected win total. So the over-under on every team's projected win total is Jacksonville's over-under is at 9.5. Tennessee's over-under is at 7.5. Indianapolis' over-under is at 6.5. And Houston's over-under is at 6.5.
Wow.
So in my opinion, there's two of them that are in my mind are sure locks. And those will be, I have Jacksonville either finishing 11-6. Really have a gut feeling 11-6, but I did say the last episode that I thought they were going to upset the Bengals. So that's their finishing 11-6, upsetting the Bengals. That was just my upset, If they don't upset the Bengals, obviously they're going to finish 10-7. So I could have that go either way, but I'm going 11-6 with my gut. Tennessee, I got going 9-8, basically just a straight up 50-50 record. Can't really do much better than that. You just vary over 500, but you weren't bad, you weren't good, you weren't anything. You were just kind of there. Tennessee's just kind of floating around. They might get a little more wins. They might get a little less wins, but 9-8 is probably a little safe place I have for them. The next, I got Indianapolis finishing at 4-13.
Oof.
And I got Houston finishing at 4-13. But I can see how Houston finishes at 5-12. I can't see Indianapolis finishing at 5-12. So my two locks, based on those averages, is I would actually take Tennessee's over on the 7.5. I just feel like Tennessee's going to get more than 8 wins. Either they're going to get 8 wins and finish 8-9, or they're going to get 9 wins and finish 9-8. When I first went through the whole thing, I had them finishing 10-7, and then I looked at the team's roster and I was like, no, I just can't justify 10-7, but I can't justify below 7 wins. So. And in the Colts, I can't fathom how you think they're going to finish above 6 wins. That one I just can't get wrap my brain around either. They got a brand new crop of coaching there that I guess maybe because sometimes you see new crop of coaching come in, like they haven't coached in the NFL as a head coach before or anything, and they kind of come out of the gate strong because nobody knows how to go against them, but. This guy is just one of those cocky guys. He thinks he's the quarterback whisperer, but I don't think Anthony Richardson's very good, in my opinion. So them basically in my opinion, gaslighting us about how they think they're going to do this season with that 6-5 record is just absolutely absurd. I think the talent on Houston, I think Houston has more talent than Indianapolis, just with their first 2 first-round picks. Their first 2 first-round picks are way more sexy than the Colts' 4th pick overall. So that's just my 2 cents of why I think Houston would probably finish above Indianapolis, but I have them at the same record at 4-13 as my official lock it in answer. So
Nice. I'll give it a go here. I'm with you. I have the Jags winning the division. For me though, just like I really try to break down the schedule and just try to look at how they performed last year and what I project. I have them winning the division, but I have them only getting 9 wins, so going 9-8. But like you said, they could easily. I feel like 9 is like the minimum, but like a 10-7 record is very, very achievable. For the Titans, I think 7-10 coming in second in the division is a good spot for them. I was really down on them before, like heading into the offseason, just with like all the talk about them potentially like kind of going through like a soft rebuild, and then come to find out like they have 3 quarterbacks on their roster now. They don't know honestly who's going to start. Could be Tannehill. They might cut Malik, the guy who they drafted last year, and they still have Will Levis, who they drafted. Like it's just like a circus in terms of the quarterback room there. Yeah, they got D Hop, but in terms of like other talent on offense, I really can't. I don't have enough talent that I can physically see and that I know of that I can like justify more than like 7 or 8 wins. And then third place, I got the Colts. I'm right there with you, 5-12. Probably no more than 5 wins. So I'm definitely taking the under for the Colts if I was the betting man. And fourth place, I have the Texans. Sadly, at 2-15, I still think they're bad. I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to change anything. They're just bad. I feel like, Will Anderson, he's good. He's very good, and I'm pretty high on him. But I feel like they made a mistake trading that pick because they easily could be in the Marvin Harrison sweepstakes, and now I don't think they are because I think they're going to be real bad. So they kind of screwed themselves there, but who knows? Maybe they have a plan in mind or see something that I don't see. So, which is probably the case, but those are my predictions. I think Texans at 2-15 it's going to be another bad season in Houston. Moving along, let's talk about I guess playoff teams. I mean, you have 2 teams that are above 500, so I'm going to ask you this. Do you think both the Titans and the Jags are going to make the playoffs? Like, do you see, like, the Titans sneaking in as that, like, 7th or, I guess, the third spot in the wild card?
No, I don't. I think only Jacksonville comes out of this division. I think Jacksonville and Tennessee play each other too hard for both of them to get out of it. I think they split the games between the 2 of them. But I mean, the fact that you're going to get 2 out of the North, in my opinion. You're going to get 1 out of the South. I really, really want to say you're going to get 2 out of the West. And in the East, AFC East, you're going to get 2 out of that as well. So wow. I don't see how the Colts. I don't see how the Titans can slip their way in. Even at 9-8, I don't see them slipping in because I have a feeling that Jets Bills get more wins than them, and Chargers Broncos get more wins than them, and I got more. Ravens Bengals get more wins than them. So that's just my feeling. And even if per se like Titans finish 10-7, I have the Ravens beating the Titans during the regular season. So the Ravens would have the game up or would have the advantage over them. So
yeah, tiebreaker. Yeah.
So I just don't see how I don't think 2 teams come out of this division. That's a little bummer to say. You don't want to be the first one to admit that you don't think there's going to be two teams coming out of a certain division. But no, the AFC West is absolutely absurd. And then the AFC East is absurd. And then you just got that, and you got the AFC North. That I wouldn't say is as crazy as it's been in the past, but it's just a tough team, or just tough teams in general. So, like the Steelers and Browns, I don't see them vying for playoff positions, but I have a conundrum to say that, like, dude, you're gonna tell me that the Steelers can't upset a team? No, that's just foolish. Their defense is good enough to upset a team. That's kind of where I'm at with like the Texans. Is that defense is good enough to just, ruin someone's day. I mean, you saw it under Lovie Smith. They did a great job, causing problems. And they kept their team in there with Davis Mills. So now we got a good coach. Now the good coach comes in, and he's a defensive minded coach. So I just feel like that defense is going to keep them in every game. It's just up to Stroud to win it for him. And I think that's probably going to be the problem. Is he's probably going to win one early on in the season. He's probably going to struggle midway through the season. And then he's probably going to win a couple at the end of the season against some of the bad teams that they play during a stretch. So,
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think the same. Like Titans, they could win more than I said. 8 and 9, 9 and 8, but I still feel like the other divisions are tougher. And it's not bad for us to say because every conference is going to have a real bad division. It just sucks that this year is going to be the AFC South. So,
in my opinion, I don't think any team on the AFC side is winning less than double digits and making the playoffs.
Yeah, AFC is tough this year for sure.
There's the amount of
past couple years.
The amount of stacked quarterbacks in one conference. I mean,
speaking of quarterbacks, let's move on to the positional rankings here. Starting with the quarterbacks, who is the best quarterback in this division?
Trevor Lawrence. Question. No hands. No hands.
No questions asked from me either. What about the other three?
I'm just gonna go Tannehill from an experience perspective. Fair. He may not be physically better or anything, but he's got 12 years of experience versus rookie. And then I'm just going to go Stroud and Richardson. So,
yeah, I agree. I was way more high on Stroud than Richardson. But who knows? Maybe the Colts know something we don't. But that's something we have to find out. But I think Stroud is starting day one. Richardson is supposed to start by Memorial Day, or not Memorial Day, Veterans Day, right? Or something like that.
Hey, man.
Like week 10 or something?
The only other quarterback on that roster is good old mustache. Yeah, good old mustache Gardner Minshew. So that's another reason why I had them losing so many games. Gardner Minshew is a gunslinger, but the problem with his gunslinging is he gets points. He just turns the ball over too much in order to win a game. I mean, he should have beaten the Cowboys, but his team let him down. He didn't even turn the ball over that bad. He had 2 turnovers in that game. One of them you can't really count because it was at the end of the game. He's just trying to get down the field quick. You just let those aside. He had 1 whole turnover that game. The defense just couldn't stop him from scoring 42 points. So that's kind of on your defense, not really on you. But that's just my liability for them. Is for him. And then the Colts, like, defensively they're okay, but they're not sound, they're not great, they're just good, There's something wrong with that. But
running backs, who's the best running back? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but actually I don't know, because
if
we take into account past 2 seasons, I mean, it's probably closer than people think.
So I'll say Henry by a landslide. I'd rather have Derrick Henry over all of them. I mean, I'm gonna get grilled for this one, and this is just my thoughts. I'm actually gonna go Pierce I'm going to go Pierce from Houston. Then I'm going to go Taylor. Then I'm going to go Etienne. I don't think Etienne's anything like extravagant. I think he's just a good running back. But I also think Taylor is just way overrated, and he had one good season. And that's really all he's been, is that one good season. Henry's consistently had good seasons. And I think Pierce had as a rookie, I thought he did really, really good. He grew each game by game. And Taylor just got hurt all last season, and he was hurt all before his one breakout year. So it's just a no trust factor there with Taylor. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're definitely getting grilled. Taylor, I mean, it's close to, I mean, it's not a landslide. I mean, Derrick Henry is definitely the best. Arguably still the best in the league. Taylor's definitely second. I think just injuries derailed him. He couldn't get to a consistent start. So I'm not gonna. After the season he put up 2 years ago, I don't have anything bad to say about him. So I got Henry, I got Taylor, I got Etienne third, and then I got Pierce in the second season. He's still good, but he's in the second season, and Etienne showed me a lot more. So I prefer him over Pierce. So let's lump the tight ends into this category as well. So let's go overall receivers, and I guess the starting tight end. Who's the best receiving core?
Best receiving / tight end core?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, Colts.
Yeah, I got the Jags. Tennessee would have probably been third if they did not snatch D-Hop. But they did, so I'm moving them to second. Colts third. Houston fourth. I don't even know because Houston lost. They lost. What's his name from last year?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he gets 1,000 yards wherever he goes. So
yeah, but they
for
got
him to get 1,000 yards. For him to get 1,000 yards in Houston was pretty impressive. He goes to Dallas. I don't know who's going to replace him.
Well, they got Dalton Schultz, so that's all I'll say. Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. My only problem with the Colts is they don't really have any weapons at all in general.
Okay, so the Texans have Nico Collins, Robert Woods, John Mechie III, and Schultz. Let's see who the Colts have.
Oh, yeah, Robert Woods and Collins is fine with Dalton Schultz. Comparison to
Pittman, Pierce, Downs, and Jelani Woods.
Yeah, give me Pittman. Houston every day.
I don't know. I'd rather have Pittman.
No, Pittman was only good because of Paris Campbell, and now Paris Campbell's gone. Now Pittman's going to be the number one, and he's being asked to do a lot. It's just not going to work out. And then you're going to ask Alec Pierce to do a bunch of stuff that, he's not freaking Danny Amendola, nor is he Wes Welker. He's not as good as those two, and you're going to ask him to do way too much for what he is. And then let's not get it twisted. The tight end, I mean, he didn't do anything in New England. Their backup tight end is Mo Alley Cox. I mean, cool. He was a good center at VCU, but dude, he doesn't really spark any interest. No, I take Texans wide receiving core in general overall.
Yep, that's where we will have to depart. I am taking the Colts. All right. I guess let's go offensive line. Probably the Jags. Probably the Jags. I feel like the Jags consistently protect Lawrence and they can run the ball pretty well. So probably Jags, then Titans.
I'm going to go with Colts there just because they have more notable names. And I feel like last year was just an off year for them. But the Texans, I mean, outside of Tunzel, right? They don't, it's just something really there.
Yeah, their line is, outside of Larry Tunsil, it's not really noteworthy. Colts, their offensive line like 2 years ago was really good, but last year it's just an off year. So just off of that, I'm going to have to go Jags, Titans, then them. On to defense. Let's start with, I guess, defensive line.
Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go out there on a stretch. Okay. I'm gonna go Titans first, just because of Simmons.
Ah,
Justin Simmons is just I'm just gonna go on the limb just because of him. I'm gonna go Colts. I'm gonna go. I'm looking at this Jags defensive line right now. I'm gonna go Texans Jags. There's not anyone on this Jaguars defensive line that's just like, yeah. Besides Josh Allen, but he plays linebacker and he doesn't even play like an edge rushing linebacker either. He plays kind of both, but no, I think I have more excitement in the Titans. No, sorry, the Texans locker room in terms of edge rushing, especially the new coach they got in there. Colts, I mean, they got DeForest Buckner, like stud. They got some other guys to help them out, but I think just Simmons by himself is the more key player on the defensive line in this division.
yeah, I think I'm with you there. Titans is probably first. It's tough because this division is, I mean, they're building their teams in the trenches, so you can't go wrong. I feel like, and the Texans are so young too. I feel like Will Anderson, I think, is a game changer. Plus, with the new coach, I feel like that defensive line is going to be something else this year. So I'm going to go Titans, Texans, Colts, Jags. I think that's how I have to go. But it's TBD.
I'm okay with that. I would have taken the Texans over the Colts if DeForest Buckner wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one hell of a division to play in, but also just like in the trenches, this is going to be crazy. Moving on, we had homework to do. I might have failed my homework. So let's talk about the linebackers. Who's the best? Who has the best linebackers in this division?
So I went through the Titans linebacking core. I know I'm not a casual. I watch a lot of NFL football. I know I'm not a casual, but I don't really recognize any of the Titans players. So that's kind of where I'm at. I recognize more Colts players than I do Titans players. So, but I recognize more Jag players. I'm putting myself out there, to be exposed, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna go Jags, Colts, Titans, Texans, just because I also don't know a whole lot of the Texans, and when looking at it, it feels like the Texans are gonna run like what a lot of teams are running now is like a linebacker safety hybrids. So it feels like that's something that they want to get their metal in a little bit more. So because of that, I'm gonna maybe put them a little bit further down. But I mean, the Colts have like EJ Speed, Shaquille Leonard, like they're good. Zaire Frank, like they're good, but like they're not better than like Josh Allen of the Jags with I just left it, but his name starts with a Y. I mean, that group is just a little bit better. There's just no one on either the Titans or the Texans that like speaks out to you in terms of like name value, besides Colts and Jags.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if they had players who were more noteworthy than, I mean, it doesn't always equate to like obviously being better, but if they were like more flashy, more like impressive in terms of like jumping off our screen, we would probably be a little bit more like knowledgeable. But I'm with you. Probably, I think the Jags had the best linebacking core, followed by the Colts, and then probably Titans and Texans. I feel like Texans are just like, with the new coach coming in, he wants to like rebuild the defense from the ground up. And so you start with the trenches, then you move to your linebackers, then you move, to your DBs and such and so forth. So, probably Texans last. Moving on, let's go with the secondary. Who has the best secondary in the AFC South?
All right. So I'm actually gonna go with. Titans. Titans number one. Now this one's really tricky because I think corner-wise, Jacksonville's better than the Texans. But safety-wise, I got Texans better. No, I don't see. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with my gut again. I'm just gonna go Tennessee's the best, just because they're coaching, just because what we see year to year with them, like that defense and secondary wise is always just great. Colts are bottom. They're the bottom feeders. Not even gonna try to question that one. But I mean, the Texans secondary last year, it looked really good, and then they were just so young and stupid. They just did something really dumb. You're like, come on. You guys had it. It was done. It was over. And the Jags defense, secondary-wise, wasn't anything extreme or like great, but they didn't do anything stupid to get themselves caught in bad situations more so. So I'm just going to go Jacksonville just because they didn't get themselves caught as often in I guess, horrible situations. And then I'm going to go Texans. But, I mean, like, Singletary is a good corner to start building around, especially with a new coach who loves defense. I mean, I'm all for it, but as a whole, their defense just made a lot of dumb errors in the secondary, which the Jaguars just didn't do. And the Titans just always seem to have a good secondary no matter who's in it. And Kevin Byard.
Yeah, I'm probably going Jacksonville as number one. I mean, even if you look back at the playoff game, they won against the Chargers. Like,
Defense shut down.
Just shut them down the second half, and a lot of that had to do with the secondary. Just like Herbert just couldn't get the ball to his receiver. So, hats off to them. They played amazing, and I saw that throughout the season. Whenever I watched Jacksonville last year, I was like, wow, like this secondary is like you said, nobody like noteworthy.
Yep.
But they make plays and they don't fall for stupid mistakes. So I feel like if you don't make mistakes that often and you're just sound, like, you know, in terms of technique and just like being able to like know your plays and like film and stuff like that, I feel like that makes at least you have the makings to be an elite defense. So Jags, then I'll go Titans, Texans, Colts. I feel like Colts, whenever you watch them, they just get burnt deep. And they lost Gilmore too. He was like the only good corner, so I think he's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, and they lost one of their best. They lost their best corner, and I don't remember his name, but he's at the Raiders now. So
yeah, so they gotta be last. Even last year with those two, they were still like whatever side those two weren't playing on got beat. So it was hard to watch sometimes. So yeah, I'm going Jags, Titans, Texans, Colts. Do you want to do kickers? We did kickers for the AFC North.
I don't even think most of these teams have a set kicker for the start of the year. So,
ooh, all right. Let's skip kickers and special teams. Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now.
I think Matt Gay is probably the best one. He plays for the Colts, but
he's a decent kicker.
Outside of him,
everyone else is. I'm not too familiar with these other
They're
people.
kind of rotating kickers. I'm pretty sure the Jags had like a makeshift kicker last year that they just kind of picked up halfway through. So
interesting. Huh. Well, that'll be something we can discuss next season if these guys can stick around. I feel like we covered everything. That was the AFC South, ladies and gentlemen. We went through the records, picked a division winner, which we both had the Jags coming out and winning this division. Did the records and did the skill position rankings. So, with that being said, next episode we will tackle the AFC East, the big AFC East.
Sir.
We get that next episode for you guys. So, stay tuned for that. But also stay tuned for Rapid Fire, which is coming up next, and some spicy trivia. We're back. And now let's kick off Rapid Fire for you guys. Today we have, the NFL's continuing their list of top 100 players voted on by the players. So if you don't like any of these rankings, you can blame them. Write your favorite player a nice spicy DM in their Twitter or Instagram DMs. Last episode we did 100 through 91. Today we're going to go through 90. I think they've released up to 61. So we're going to get through those. Let's start with the first set of 10. Um, at 90, we have D Hop. 89, Marshawn Lattimore, Saints. 88, Aiden Hutchinson, Lions, last year's number one pick. 87, Falcons, offensive lineman Chris Lindstrom. 86, little spicy pick, but we have Justin Fields. 85, Texans offensive lineman Larry Tunsil. 84, Zadarius Smith, linebacker, Browns. 83, we have Teron Armstead from the Dolphins. And 82, we got another Dolphin, Mr. Tua Tagovailoa. And then, oh man, we got 3 Dolphins in a row. At 81, we have Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle. What do we think about this 90 through 81, Lawrence? Give me your thoughts.
I have no beef with it. Maybe Marshawn Lattimore is questionable on it because Mans did miss a little bit.
He missed a good chunk of last year.
A little bit of chunk of the last season, so a little questionable there. Justin Fields is a joke in the top 100 at all, so I'm just going to put that out there. Don't like it at all. Outside of that, no, I don't have any problems. No, everyone else is justified to be on here. Maybe higher, maybe lower, but it's kind of hard to get them any lower. So I think everyone else is pretty much, they're locked in that they should be here and that they're eligible to be here. My only beef is with Justin Fields. I don't believe he's better than Trevor Lawrence. You know, I mean, obviously, we're talking about last season. Trevor Lawrence had a way better season last season. If we're talking about, you know, futures, who knows? But I don't think that Justin Fields did anything that swept me away when I watched him play.
Yeah, so. I agree. It seems like I couldn't tell based off the last episodes because we only had like the first 10, but now that we have like 40, it seems to me that the players put like 60% of their thought into like, you know, just last season. So that's why the rankings I feel like are kind of skewed. When instead they probably should have done like, I don't know, maybe 40 to 50% instead of like 60 plus. It seems like this list is very heavily skewed towards last season. So I'm with you. I think based off last season, Fields was not better than Lawrence, but in the vacuum, you can't really say. Same with Tua. I think Tua, I mean, he had a good season, but he kept getting hurt. So if we're going to keep that same attitude with some of these other players, then Tua should not be on this list either.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next set of 10. We have 80 through 71. At 80, we have tight end of the Ravens, Mark Andrews. 79, linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, 49ers. Another 49er at 78. We got safety, Talanoa Hufanga. Hope I'm saying that right. Then 77 and 76, we have 2 Seahawks. At 77, we have Geno Smith. And 76, we have Tariq Woolen. 75, we have our Cincy defensive end, Trey Hendrickson, who just signed an extension today, by the way. Congrats to him. 74, we have Garrett Wilson, wide receiver. 73, Budda Baker, safety from the Cardinals. 72, I don't know why the hell he's here, but Lamar Jackson's at 72. And 71, we have Colts defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. So I think we both have an issue with Lamar being at 72. How in the hell is the former unanimous MVP at 72?
The only reason I could justify him at 72 is that he missed like 6 games, but that's obviously not a factor that a lot of people are voting on. So yeah, I'm with you. If someone was to say like, okay, no, he missed 6 games. Oh, yeah, okay. But obviously not true because you got freaking Lattimore who missed about 9-8 games. You got 2 on here who missed about 6-7 games.
Yeah.
So that theory is automatically just done out the window and not justifiable. So the fact that Geno Smith, I get he had a good season last year. The fact that him and Lamar are on the same section together is just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's insane. And like I said, this is not the media voting on this, all right? This is players, so you gotta blame your favorite players for voting the way they did. All right, moving along. The last sets for tonight. At 70, We got linebacker Joey Bosa, 69. We got Bills linebacker Matt Milano. At 68, we got Cowboys lineman Zach Martin, who's still holding out because he wants a bigger bag. At 67, we have Amra St. Brown, wide receiver Lions. Another line at 66, very controversial, Jared Goff. 65, corner Darius Slay. 64, Aaron Jones, Packers. 63, we got Falcons defensive tackle Grady Jarrett. 62, we got Bobby Wagner. And 61, we got 49ers receiver Deebo Samuel. I feel like this set of 10 I have the most problem with because there's a couple of guys that should not be here. It's just, my mind is baffled.
Who's got you thinking that way?
Well, I feel like Joey should be higher, so he should be like a top 50 player. Same with Zach Martin. Zach Martin's like one of the best linemen playing, him and Trent Williams, so he should be like a top 50 player. Amar St. Brown, he wasn't better than Devontae Smith or Scary Terry. He just
But he scored
He just scored a lot because the Lions scored a lot. So, I mean, talent-wise,
the only reason he's on 67.
Go ahead.
I'm okay with him at being at 67. If you kept going, Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff, based on last season, should have been a top 50 player.
Really?
His stats say top 50. He was like one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year.
I agree, but
he played every single game.
They need to release the actual criteria that they want the players to vote off of because this is all over the place. Jared Goff's not.
Darius Slay's too high.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, it was a different list and it was voted on by the media, but Darius Slay wasn't even top 10 corner. Aaron Jones wasn't a top 10 running back either. He was an honorable mention. We went over that like 2 episodes ago.
But I did say I had a problem with that one. So I don't know about Aaron Jones being
at 64.
At 64, it's a little high, but
yes,
I think Darius Slay is too high. I'm actually okay with Amon-Ra St. Brown being where he is, just because of how clutch he is on third down, how clutch he is in the red zone, and just how prolific that Lions offense was, which is why Jared Goff is 66. Their offense, they had the number one offense in the league. Of course, they're going to have some guys that are a little too high up. But in my opinion, they've already had all the guys on their offense listed. And if you had the number one offense in the league and your running back was 95, we haven't done their tight end. Their tight end was like on the first 10 out, right? Hawkinsock was like first 10 out?
He was, yeah. He played there for half the season.
He played there for half the season. And then you had the number one offense, and the highest that your offensive players got was 66 and 67 and 95. So the number one offense can't even crack the top 50. That's a little crazy to me that the number one offense in the league can't crack. No one in that offense can crack the top 50. Yeah, that's just a little questionable to me.
Yeah, it is. If you now that you say it, I don't think I have a problem with where Jared Goff is located. I feel like the people behind him should be higher. I feel like that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
obviously Lamar and Scary Terry should be way higher.
Yeah, Lamar, Scary Terry, Joey Bosa, Zach Martin. I think Tariq Woolen should be higher. When you want to get down to brass tacks, you can even kind of say maybe Garrett Wilson should be a little higher. Maybe he should be in the 60s. He did win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Your Offensive Rookie of the Year barely cracks the top 75. I don't know what that says about the rest of the rookies. I don't know. And then there's certain guys on here no offense to Bobby Wagner, but I don't think he was top 75.
No.
And I don't think he's top 75. But his name value gets him top 62, but I don't think he is what he was. I think Budda Baker is getting hate for being on a bad team, which is sad. He's at 73, but I mean, what are you going to do about it? I mean, there's nothing. All we can do is talk about it. But no, the number one offense, highest ranked was 66, 67. First 10 out, and then 95. That just means you don't respect the number one offense. And then if we want to talk about it, I don't know what the 49ers ranked in terms of offense, but I'm pretty sure they were like top 3 or 4. And their best wide receiver is 61. So
little suspect. It's just like there's still so many good players, and we have 61, and we're already seeing like questionable things. Like I don't even want to see the next 10. I feel the next, like the people left out the top 50. I feel like it's going to be like the next 10 is going to be the most controversial. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. There's just so many problems with letting players, I guess, do it. Maybe they should do it like they once did, where it was players and media, but just a little hit or miss everywhere. But
I guess they don't want to do that because the media always gets hate. So I guess they want to put out something for the players by the players. So like if you have a problem, like blame your favorite player. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like this just means that not a lot of guys are fans of Lamar Jackson are in the league. So,
and it's crazy because they all want him to get paid, but then you want to vote him the 72nd best player. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. And then now you're making people question why he got paid. So, don't do that to the man.
Don't do that to him. All right. Well, that take care of the list. The rest of the lists will, I guess, it should drop next week. So. Whatever drops between, I guess, this episode and next, we will debunk on episode 26. So stay tuned for that. But we will move on to some trivia. My question is NBA again. That's all I can think of. So,
I did it just because the Women's World Cup is on. I did it based on international soccer.
Ooh,
but it's men's. It's not women.
Ooh, okay. I'll go first, since you went first last episode. So we're going to stick with the NBA for the third time in a row. We're not going to do the draft this time. We're going to go with MVPs, all right? This is a pretty easy one, so you should be able to get it. This is a two-part question. Tell me the year and tell me the player. Who was the youngest MVP in what year?
Youngest MVP in what year?
Yes.
2005, LeBron James.
No.
Youngest MVP. Well, it's gotta be someone who came out of high school, right?
Not true.
So
it's recent. It's within the last, 2023, so 10 to 15 years.
Oh, I mean, I was automatically thinking like Kevin Garnett or LeBron or Kobe because they came out of high school and they didn't go to college, so they would have had a quicker chance to get.
There's a contract rule named after them. Basically, if it's because they were the youngest MVP, if you're on your rookie scale contract and you win the MVP just like this person did, then you're eligible for the Supermax.
No, dude, I don't pay attention to NBA contracts like that. I don't pay attention to the NBA like this.
Well, this is a pretty. I wouldn't say it was controversial MVP voting, but a lot of people felt like someone else should have won it, but this person ended up winning.
I don't really have anything. I haven't paid attention to who won an NBA MVP. I've only been paying attention maybe the last 5 years. Before that, I was all about the college basketball.
This guy was very good in college.
Yeah,
if I give you a school, you'll probably get it.
Yeah, I mean, give me the school then. I ain't getting it without it.
Memphis?
Well, who's come out of Memphis? Let's see. Ew. Who has come out of Memphis? I know a bunch of NFL players that come out of Memphis.
He
Is it the guy who's broken all his bones? No.
broke all their bones.
I'm talking about the Magic. The guy who plays for the Magic.
He was pretty popular. Had his own shoe. Wasn't with Nike though.
I don't know who has their own shoe, my friend.
Oh my god.
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, there you go. Derrick Rose. He won that. I think he was 22 when he won.
The only reason I remember that is because I have this vivid memory of Derrick Rose hitting a free throw in March Madness. And I can't remember who they were playing, but the other team immediately went down the court and shot a three and tied the game and sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory of Derrick Rose as a Memphis player.
Yeah, I think he won in his third or fourth season. He was only 22 or 23. He was super young.
Yep, that's the only reason I got that one. So, yeah. I don't know how I pulled that one out of my brain, but as soon as you gave me the college, I started to think about it a little bit. Yeah, see, once you give me the college, I kind of understand it. I've watched enough college basketball.
Yeah, I see. I figured you would.
This one's. I don't think this one's hard at all. You just got to think about it a little bit. So
that's what they all say.
This generational duo has the most World Cup appearances and most international appearances for their countries. Can you name these two men?
Wait, say that again?
This generational duo has the most World Cup appearances and most international appearances for their countries.
Tim Howard and Landon Donovan or something?
No.
It's
not United States. I'll give you that. So don't think outside the box. Think outside the box.
I thought we were talking about U.S.
No. Just this is the world. This is the world as a whole. You can name me who has the most World Cup game appearances, or you can name me who has the most international appearances overall. But these two men are in the same generation.
I don't know. Let's see here. My limited knowledge. What can I think of? I want to say it has to be someone old. See, I want to go Ronaldo, but I don't know who else plays for Portugal, so I don't even.
No, I'll even put it out there for you. They're not even in the same country.
What the?
Two different countries, two different men, same generation.
What kind of?
As soon as you hear the answer, you're gonna go, "Oh."
Is it Lionel Messi?
Yes.
Ooh. Is it
Come on, don't think about it. Just let it rip.
I don't know. Neymar.
Nope.
Is it I don't know. I don't know too many other people. Wayne Rooney?
Nope. I can play spoil for you. You want me to just have and tell you?
Who is it?
So it's Ronaldo. You already said his name.
What the? See, Portugal. I thought it was the same. At first, I thought it was someone in the U.S., and then I thought it was the same country. And now that it's just those two old farts.
So, this generation, Lionel Messi has had 26 World Cup game appearances. Next highest on the list is 24. And that was a guy from, I think it was Lamb from Germany. So, now, as for country appearances, playing for their country in international play, Ronaldo has played for Portugal 200 times.
Yeah, the next highest
person was at 189. Messi was at 187 appearances for his country, but Ronaldo has 200 appearances. They're both what we considered our generational duo.
There are goats. I swear.
There are goats.
All right, ladies and gents, that is the end of trivia. Definitely got on the soccer, on the football. I thought I knew my goats, but I guess I didn't.
I got until you gave me the college, so.
Yeah, I gave you some good hints. Can't lie there. Any final words before we take off into the sunset, take off into the weekend?
No, I don't really have much to say. I'm looking forward to the NFL season. This is technically the last weekend without NFL football.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game is what, next weekend or next Thursday?
Is it next Thursday? Next Friday, I think.
It's one of those days.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday night, yeah. And then
the weekend after that, it kicks off.
We got 3 games, right?
No, it's just one game.
I'm saying 3. Each team plays 3 games now.
Oh yeah,
right?
Each team plays 3 preseason games.
Nice. So there's that to look forward to. Training camp is kicking off. A lot of injuries, unfortunately. We had Joe Burrow got hurt today. Looks like nothing serious. Jalen Ramsey got hurt. Tore his meniscus, apparently.
Did you see the Commanders practice field for the actually was full this time around? It was full
for the first time ever. Like, they showed a comparison from last season to this year, and it's insane. I told you we should have won. They were giving away free tickets.
We should go to a weekend. Man.
We should go to a weekend one.
I'm down for it.
We should go to a weekend one, and then
we should go to a preseason game.
I was actually looking that up. They got dirt cheap tickets. Like, I think the 2 home ones are Ravens and Cincinnati. So I'm down for.
You want the Ravens one?
The Ravens is during the week, I think, but Cincy's on a Saturday, so we should definitely go to that. That's like the 26th.
Okay. Is it gonna be? I think it's week 3 though, isn't it? So it's the preseason game where nobody plays.
I thought they changed it so the last game, everyone the starters play like a half, right? Or the starters play the half in the second game now.
The starters play the half in the second game, and the third game is strictly who am I going to cut and who am I not going to cut.
Huh.
Yeah, that's how it used to. The third game used to be I play my starters halfway through. The third game is like the kind of the most important game, and the fourth game was the throwaway. Who am I going to cut? Who am I not going to cut?
Yeah, makes sense.
You take away a game from them, they're just going to do everything in the opposite. I mean, in reality, we kind of noticed in the last year that like no one really plays in preseason. That's important.
I feel like both teams will have like rookies that they want to keep playing, so maybe they'll keep some of the exciting players in. I don't know. We'll have to see closer to make that decision, I guess. I think Oh, go ahead.
At least the Bengals are going to have their quarterback's going to be pretty busy.
He's
Joe Burrow's hurt, so he better be good.
I feel like there's a lot of other players got hurt. I feel before we go, Jalen Ramsey, Himes from the Bills got hurt on the jet ski accident. Tony from the Chiefs got hurt, and I think today someone on the Jets got hurt. I think it was Garrett Wilson got hurt, right?
I didn't pay attention to it today.
It's just crazy. I feel like before we go, like NFL is like the only sport that I feel like, or football in general, like is the only sport where you like have to go close to game speed, and by doing that, a lot of players just get hurt like during this time. So I feel like basketball, they just shoot around for like weeks. That's their training camp, and they scrimmage a little bit. But NFL, you just go hard because you got to get close to game speed as possible. People just, unfortunately, just get hurt. And they play outside when heat index is like 110. I don't know why they're practicing outside.
I don't know. I don't know why you don't practice in colder temperatures during this hot time.
Yeah, would make more sense. Players get less injured. That's all I got. That's all the shout outs I have in terms of just things going around in the NFL. But yeah, this episode 25, the big 2-5, y'all. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for continuing to watch. Catch us on YouTube and Spotify, and also follow us on TikTok and Twitter. The Threads account is coming soon, I promise. And with that, we will bid you farewell. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bid you adieu.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of bird.